everybody present in the hall. Very good morning again to all. Friends, I am extremely thankful to IDMA for inviting me here today, especially Mr. Dara Patel, Secretary General IDMA, and Ms. Puchi, for giving me this opportunity to be here today at the inauguration of this seminar being conducted in Indore on the pharmaceutical stability studies. Friends, it's I will say again, I have been to Indore this time. I have been earlier over here during the Indian Pharmaceutical Congress. So I am very happy to be at Indore again. And also, thanks to Dara for giving me this privilege of releasing this Members Directory 2011. This is a golden jubilee year of IDMA, and the series of activities they are conducting, I again congratulate the whole of the team of IDMA for the same. Friends, I am interested to talk to you today on WHO guidelines on stability testing.
Just a minute, that guy is coming from project. 1 minute लगेगा.
Okay. So till the projector is on, I am advised that let the audience also to settle and a brief intermission for a few minutes. The reason that I have brought this presentation to talk on WHO drug stability testing guidelines today, yesterday we were at the dinner meeting and the sponsors who had gone to invite people for this seminar, they said several of the friends from industry are unable to come because of the WHO inspections that are happening or the audits that are happening at their places. The World Health Organization is an umbrella organization for almost 193 countries, and it is responsible for the quality of drugs it supplies to the whole of the world, particularly to African and Asian countries. Plus, they have also the responsibility by its charter to monitor the quality of drugs which are available throughout the world in different countries. In that respect, WHO is coming out with several of the quality guidelines, and it has technical committee on technical specifications, where incidentally I am a sole representative from India, and I sit as a temporary advisor. For the last 4 years I have been going to headquarters Geneva, and the meeting is held always in October. And fortunately for us, for this country, I was invited by these guidelines on stability testing. They were being revised and finalized. The problem which is coming that I am seeing over here is, yesterday I was talking to too many friends over here in Indore, the Manufacturer Association personnel, that the small scale and medium scale industry is finding difficulty at times to fulfill these requirements. Keeping this into view, when I sit in that committee, I tried my best to see that the guidelines which are being proposed are rational, and they are not having a barrier element which is coming under the international pressure. I try my hard, but not always succeed. So the intention of today's presentation is on highlighting what is the new WHO guideline, what are the differences between the ICH, which is meant for new drugs, and WHO guidelines, which are meant both for new drugs and the generics. So that is the intention of the presentation today. Also, there is an issue which is going on, that we do not have an Indian drug stability guideline of our own. whether we need one or we simply follow the WHO guideline because it has been revised. The issue foremost which came when we were revising the WHO guideline was, should we follow the language of ICH in the WHO guideline? Now, ICH guideline was introduced somewhere in 1993. And when this guideline, WHO guideline was finalized, almost 15 to 16 years have passed. And everybody thought that the industry practices have already been aligned to ICH, and WHO guideline also should be parallel to ICH guideline by word even. So almost the same language has been used, but giving some benefits at specific places for the industry which cannot cope up with all the ICH requirements for new drugs. So this basically, that is the difference which I am going to highlight today, how ICH and WHO guidelines differ, and where we have given some leverage in the requirements under the WHO guidelines to the industry. So friends, if you look into this slide shows the original ICH, WHO guideline of 1996. The ICH brought out the stability guideline, first of it, Q1A in 1993, which was not applicable largely to generics. So WHO brought this guideline for stability testing of pharmaceutical products containing well-established drug substances in conventional dosage form in 1996. Most of our industry has followed this guideline for, I will say, 15 years. And the WHO has very recently come out with this guideline of 2009 titled Stability Testing of Active Pharmaceutical Ingredients and Finished Pharmaceutical Products. Now you will find over here there is a change of title also, and this was the Annexa 2 in this WHO Expert Committee on Specifications for Pharmaceutical Preparation report, which is the 43rd report, which was issued in 2009. Now, there is another guideline issued by WHO, that is Guidelines on Stability Evaluation of Vaccines. This is being done, the activity is being done by the biological group within the WHO, and they have come out with this guideline, and it was published in 2006. Now, to talk about 2009 WHO Stability Guideline, basically the first meeting which I attended was in EMRO, WHO Eastern Mediterranean office in Cairo in 2008, September 2008. And most of the consultation was done and finalization guideline was done in this 2008 September meeting in Cairo. And subsequently, it was passed and finalized in the main meeting of the expert committee in October 2009, where also I was a member. So I can try to give you all the insights which have gone into making of this guideline. And if you look into the contents of this guideline, I am sorry, some of the letters are very small and may not be visible to you in real sense. But if you broadly look into the comparison of the two, ICH guideline is on the right and the WHO is on the left. It is almost parallel by contents, except a few new headings at the end. Now it is talking of drug substances, first introduction, drug substances, which has a different nomenclature in WHO. We call as API and ICH call it as a drug substance. So this definition, small differences are there. Essentially the guideline is similar. Now scope of these guidelines are also almost similar, except ICH is only on the new drugs and WHO also encompasses on the old molecules and the generic molecules. So first is difference in the definitions in the ICH and WHO guidelines. WHO says API, ICH will say drug substance. WHO says finished pharmaceutical product, and ICH says drug product. And WHO always talks of WHO member states, while ICH always talks of three regions, that is EC, Japan and US. So that is the essential major difference in the guideline. And if you look at the conceptual differences, in the WHO guideline different from ICH with respect to the API? If you look into those who are really using this guideline day in, day out, ICH guideline or WHO guideline will really appreciate that the differences have come not in the general discussion, but in the stress testing there is some difference, yes. Selection of batches there is some difference. Container closure system there is no difference. Specifications, yes. Testing frequency remains the same. Storage conditions there is a huge difference. Then stability commitment evaluation there is no difference. Statement and labeling, yes, it's a very important difference that has come in the WHO guidelines. And the ongoing stability study is the new chapter in the WHO guideline.